Because I couldn't stop for death by Emily Dickinson. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labour and my leisures too for his chivalry. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun, or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries and yet feels shorter than the day. I feel surmise the horses' heads were toward eternity. Requiem by Robert Louis Stevenson. Under a wide and starry sky, dig the grave and let me lie. Glad did I live and gladly die, and I laid me down with a will. This be the verse you grave for me. He here lies where he longed to be. Home is a sailor, home from sea, and the hunter, home from the hill. Don't Quit by John Greenleaf Whittier. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit, for life is queer when it twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about, when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far, so stick to the fight when you are hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. Not Waving, but Drowning by Stevie Smith. Nobody heard him, the dead man, but still he lay moaning. I was much further out than you thought, and not waving, but drowning. Poor chap, he always loved larking, and now he's dead. It must have been too cold for him, his heart gave way, they said. Oh no, 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 it was too cold always, still the dead one lay moaning. I was much too far out all my life, and not waving, but drowning. Remains by Simon Armitage. On another occasion, we got sent out to tackle looters raiding a bank, and one of them legs it up the road, probably armed, possibly not, while myself and somebody else are all on the same mind, so all three of us opened fire, three of a kind, all letting fly, and I swear, I see every round as it rips through his life. I see broad daylight on the other side. So I've hit this looter a dozen times, and he's there on the ground, sort of inside out. Pain itself, the image of agony. One of my mates goes by and tosses his guts back into his body. Then he's cut it off in the back of a lorry. End of story, except not really. His blood shadow stays on the street and out on patrol. I walk right over it week after week. Then I'm home on leave, but I blink, and he bursts again through the doors of the bank. Sleep, and he's probably armed, and possibly not. Dream, and he's torn apart by a dozen rounds, and the drink and the drugs won't flush him out. He's here in the head when I close my eyes, dug in behind enemy lines, not left for dead in some distant, sun-stunned, sand-smothered land, or 6 feet under in desert sand, but near to the knuckle, here and now, his bloody life in my bloody hands. Autumn Song by W.H. Auden. Now the leaves are falling fast, nurses' flowers will not last. Nurses to their graves are gone, but he prams go rolling on. Whispering neighbours left and right daunt us from our tree delight. Able hands are forced to freeze, derelict on lonely knees. Close behind us on our track, dead in hundreds, cry alack. Arms raised, stiffy to reprove, in false attitudes of love. Scrawny through a plundered wood, trolls run scolding for their food. Owl and nightingale are dumb, and the angel will not come. Clear, unscalable ahead, rise the mountains of instead, from whose cold cascading streams none may drink except in dreams. Afterwards, by Thomas Hardy. When the present has latched its postern behind my tremulous stay, and the May moth flaps its glad green leaves like wings, delicate filmed as new spun silk, will the neighbours say, he was a man who used to notice such things? If it be in the dusk when, like an eyelid's soundless blink, the dewful hawk comes crossing the shades to alight upon the wind-warped unplanned thorn, a gazer may think, to him this must have been a familiar sight. If I pass during some nocturnal blackness, mothy and warm, when the hedgehog travels furtively over the lawn, one may say, he strove that such innocent creatures should come to no harm. But he could do little for them, and now he is gone. If when hearing that I have been stilted at last, they stand at the door, watching the full-starred heavens that winter sees, will his thought rise on those who will meet my face no more? He was one who had an eye for such mysteries. And will any say, when my bell of quintance is heard in the gloom, and a crossing breeze cuts a pause in its outrollings, till they rise again, as they were a new bell's boom, he hears it not now, but used to notice such things. 1,000 Paper Cranes by Shinji Moon. I would fold 1,000 paper cranes for you, would fight away all those demons that leave scratches over your skin, just so you know that they don't always leave through bloody trails. I look at you and see all the ways a soul can bruise, and I wish I could sink my hands into your flesh and light lanterns along your spine, so you know that there's nothing but light when I see you. Listen, when the wind blurs all your candles out, when the stars turn to plumes of smoke, when your mother makes you watch as the matches burn out in her eyes, let me hold your hand, your skin, the stones you've swallowed in your sleep. Let me slip your soul out of your skin, so you can sleep in my palms for tonight. The Sun on the Bookcase by Thomas Hardy. Once more the cauldron of the sun smears the bookcase with winey red, and here my pages, and there my bed, and the apple tree shadows travel along. Soon their intangible track will be run, and dusk grow strong, and they have fled. Yes, now the boiling ball is gone, and I have wasted another day. But wasted, do I say? Is it a waste to have imagined one beyond the hills there, who, anon, my great deeds done, will be mine alway? Just Like You by Brian Ferry. Buttercups, daisies, and most anything wither and die after blossoming spring. Time conquers innocence, pride takes a fall, In knowledge lies wisdom, that's all. Everything changes, whether blurs hot or cold. Through alchemy, iron turns gold. Quicksilver baby, so hard to pin down. Oh, when are you coming around? Hopelessly grounded, I walk through the streets, remembering how we spent time, hoping and yearning that someday we'll meet. But when would we? How could we? Why? Fashion house ladies need plenty loose change when the latest creation is last year's fabric. Thought patterns hazy, this order style age. Will ladies' luck smile, old and sage? She knows that never again, no. Will I give up my heart to gamble with fate in my crime? Nevertheless, luck, it's all here in my book. I'd write it, but don't have much time. You see, I know it sounds crazy, but what can I do? I've fallen, head over heels over you. Chameleon colors, all phases of moon, the shifting of planets, and leopard spots too. As destiny wills it so, seasons will change, just like